Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a community update for January 22nd, 2020. There is lots to go over. We've got Plarium finally promoting a content producer and promoting somebody from the community. That's the first time we've ever seen that, so I will give you my thoughts on that. And then we've got, events coming out, tournaments going live, the Dragon tournament, and we've also got Glyphs being sold in the shop. So I will let you know what I think about that, and we'll try to price a value on those and get them added to the offer sheet. So yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty, so first off, if I pull up the news tab here, the big thing kind of coming through in game today was a promotion to show Stu Gaming some love. I've only had like 3 episodes of Chosen's Corner where I bring somebody onto my channel to just kind of, have some fun and have a casual conversation. And Stu was one of those 3 people. So Stu has been a good friend of mine for like 6 months, and I've always enjoyed doing collabs with him, and I talk to him basically on a daily basis. He's a good guy. He puts out good content, and he definitely deserves a shout out, and he deserves a subscription from anybody who's watching this video. My only gripe with this, if I'm just being 100% honest, is there's so many people who deserve this, and Raid has never promoted somebody in-game. Raid's been a big deal for about a year now, and they've never promoted like a content provider in-game like this. So I think the proper route would have been to do this for like 4 or 5 people, instead of just choosing one person to be the first and only one that you ever promote. Hopefully it's a sign of things to come, where Plarium is really embracing the content community for Raid and shouting out some people, because there's so many people that make good content for Raid Shadow Legends. I've played other games where the content quality is very low and there's not very much of it. Raid does not have that problem. There's so many people that are making daily content, helping out new players, mid-game players, end-game players, covering events, how to be efficient, beginner guides. There's so many people that have good mics and put out good content, and really deserve to be shouted out and shown some love in the community. That's why I have Chosen's Corner, where people that are up and coming in the scene and get to a good foothold and get a few thousand subs, I bring them on the channel, show them some love, shout them out, because there's so many people that deserve to be checked out in the community. So I hope this is the first step in Plarium shouting out content providers, and hopefully we start doing like 2 or 3 of them at a time, and really getting the spreading the knowledge of how many good content creators there are in the game. But for a first one, Stu was a good choice. He's been around for a long time, and he's one of the better ones in producing content. But there are a lot of other ones that you should check out. I'm not going to start listing names because there's too many. I would forget people and offend people or whatever. But definitely, Stu, congratulations. This is a life-changing event for Stu, and he's a good guy who makes good content, and he deserved it. So that's kind of my take on that. I hope it means lots more shout-outs to come from Plarium for some of the most dedicated content providers. But okay, let's get into the tournaments going on. We've got a Dragon tournament, a Champion Training tournament, Champion Chase tournament. So they are really going to be draining us of our resources here. The Champion Training Tournament is a brutal one. It's been a wild kind of whale war. We can see that I'm number 1 in my group. I wanted to get number 1 by quite a ways, at least above 25k, to see if anybody was going to be chasing me or not. Doesn't look like they are, so I did luck out there. I know there's different rewards like Skull Crusher and Seeker and Royal Guard, I've heard, as being rewards in other groups. Seems like it might be dependent on like your spending tier or what area of the game you've progressed to is the reward for your group. The groups are very big. They're like 250 people. So winning them is going to be very tough. I was lucky enough to get in one that I think is going to be at least attainable. Some people got really unlucky, and you're in a group with somebody that's on global, at 100k points or something. So yeah, we can see number 1 is 142,000. Just insane. When this ends here in like a week, I will probably do a video trying to figure out exactly how much resources these people used. I can't even fathom how to calculate that. It's gonna be, guys, I have gone really hard. Like, I've made so many 6 stars and 5 stars and used hundreds of brews and grinding Nightmare in 30 seconds. Like, I've gone pretty hard, and I'm at 42,000. So I can only imagine being at 104. This person's 100,000 ahead of me. They must just be going. They must be like 6-starring random common champions by now. Like, there's no way there's 6-starring champions they actually need at this point. Like, I've already made probably 8 to 10 6-stars, and I had like 70 or 80 before that. So I'm getting to the point where I'm at like 100 6-star champions. These people have got to be at like 150 or so. I mean, I can't even imagine how many this is. I'm gonna have to sit down and really try to do the math, but that'll be a fun video to try to calculate exactly how much the global leaderboard has spent to get after that. And to be honest, if I pull up the reward, one thing I wanted to cover really quick, the global reward, it doesn't seem like something that would really incite a whale war. Like, don't get me wrong, 10 legendary skill tomes is really good. That's a really good thing to win. But is it worth spending $1,000 in energy and resources to go after? Like, in my opinion, not really, but you know, I guess the bragging rights and finishing #1 is enough to motivate people, and you can never really go wrong. Leveling up champions, I guess, might be their way of thinking. So if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it now. But yeah, definitely a crazy event. It's gonna be fun to keep an eye on. All right, and then let's go over the other event here. We've got dungeon divers going on right now. A lot of people, especially if you're newer or mid-game, the good route to go would be to do the campaign, and you know, the drops that you get count towards the dungeon divers event. So I've gotten these points, the 116, just by farming the campaign today, and you know, doing some brutal and nightmare runs and stuff. So I would focus on that if you're a newer player, and kind of double dip and get your XP and your dungeon divers. One thing you can also do that I have done before, which is kind of cool, you gotta be kind of endgame to do this probably, but what I'll do sometimes is like pull out one person and just throw in like a random level 1 champion, and if you're gonna do this in dungeons, we can see here I'll probably do this run in like a minute and 20 seconds, and then I'll get some free points for the champion leveling event. And so it's not really going to cost me anything. My run will still be pretty much just as good whether I use 4 people or 5 people, and then I get some free points for leveling in the dungeon. So if you do this a few hundred times, if you're just kind of sitting here playing, throw in a random 3-star, random 4-star, whatever, those extra points can really add up to be a decent amount over the course of a few hundred runs. So my typical dragon run is probably about 35 seconds. So we can see here, it really didn't even affect my run. I just did a 33-second dragon run, and then I got all of these levels, basically like half of an XP brew for free. I don't know exactly how, but that's 4 free levels. If I did this again, they'd be like level 7 in 2 runs, and it was kind of free points towards the event. So that's something you can think about doing. Oh, ooh, speed with speed set with speed and crit rate. We can actually keep that one, so that worked out. But yeah, that's just kind of a neat little trick. It might not be super useful to a lot of you out there, but you could throw in random level 1 champions into your dungeon grinding teams if you're really going to be grinding them, and double dip and get a few points extra for the champion training event. So that's something I wanted to kind of show off real quick. And yeah, we already kind of covered this. I'm okay with this event. Anytime we can get an epic or legendary book, I like it. The 3 days of XP is a pretty decent reward, and then we can get a void and an ancient. Gonna be decently tough to get to, but not impossible. 3,500 is doable, but it is gonna be quite the grind to do in 5 days. We can see I didn't really put a whole lot of a dent in it today, but I didn't go super hard. I didn't play a lot, so yeah, I'm okay with this event. But they're really going to be draining us of our resources, because the champion training, the dungeon divers, there's probably going to be an artifact event coming up. There's a champion chase tournament coming up. So wow, lots of things coming online to really drain us of our resources. It's going to be a pretty crazy week. I'm hoping it's because the patch is going to be dropping like next week. That's what I'm hoping for. 1.13 dropping next week, where we see Sathalia and a couple other heroes, Shamrock. Excuse me, Shamrock be like reworked, and you know, they had a little teaser that I covered in one of my more recent videos. So hopefully that drops next week, and that's why they're really trying to get people to spend their resources now, so that when the patch drops, they get excited to kind of replenish their resources and buy some of the offers. So let's go over some of these in the shop, and let me pull this up here. All right, so the one on the left that you probably can't see unless I move this. Okay, let's go $49.99. And 17 ancients, 3.5, boom, and 1750. All right, so this comes out as being a 1.65. It's a pretty standard, a pretty standard, decent offer. So not amazing, not bad. It's just, I mean, they named it standard and it's pretty standard, so that works. All right, and let's go over the premium offer here. We've got $99.99, and then we've got, let's clear this out actually, and let's go 2 million. Nope, not that. There we go. 2,000 gems and 18 voids. Yeah, this one grades out as a little bit worse. So of these two, I would probably choose the one on the left, the $49.99. If we were doing like a ×2 void event, that one would be decently enticing, but even then we would hope it's like, you know, 22 to 25 void shards. 18 isn't really enough to feel like you're gonna get value out of $100, but there is gems to go with it in silver. So again, not terrible, but of these two, I definitely like the one on the left, and even that one is kind of in middle of the road. All right, let's go over the Conqueror pack. We've actually seen, I posted this on my channel, I think, and maybe on Twitter, but we've actually, for the first time, I've seen a $20 US Conqueror pack, which I've never seen before. Maybe other people have. So that's interesting. We've gone from like $3 and $5 ones up to $10 ones, up to $15 ones, and now up to some people getting $20 ones. So I wonder when the Conqueror pack snowball is going to stop rolling. Are we going to get up to like $100 daily Conqueror packs for like the uber whales that have, you know, 12 ancient shards and 17 cram boss keys and 40 energy refills? Like, you know, when is the snowball going to kind of stop running? But it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm currently usually getting the $15 ones though. The special progress pack, this will be a fun one to plug in. Let's go. These ones are usually pretty good, and we haven't seen these for a while, so I hope we start getting these more often. These are pretty good to have during events. Silver. All right, energy refills 15 and 1,500 energy. 750 gems. Okay, so, Plarium, I'm on to you. It grades out just barely into the teal at 1.90. So yeah, this is really towards like kind of the bottom tier of something I would really recommend. And I may scoop up one of these, probably not 2 or 3. My spending has been a little bit higher than normal because of trying to get Lysandra in that event. So I've got to be disciplined, but even if I were being disciplined, this is a pretty good one to scoop up. You know, if you're looking to spend money, this one grades out as excellent. And the 6-star artifact set. This one's pretty tough to plug into the calculator because it's a gear offer. Divine Life is a decent set. It's all right. Is it worth $35 for a set of a full set of, you know, 6-star epic? In my opinion, no. I think it's worth about $24.99 would be where I'd be comfortable recommending it. So this one's probably one I'm passing on and not recommending. Now this is the big offer of the day because this is something brand new. I don't think we've ever seen this in the community until today. So a $20 for, first of all, let's find out the inherent value of the pack and narrow this down to the glyph. $19.99, 400 energy, 700k silver. All right, so we've got basically $2.50. So we have to ask ourselves, are 3 speed glyphs worth like $16 or $17? Whew. My first reaction is definitely no. And one of the reasons that I will say that is because when we go to champions and we go to artifact, we go to upgrade, we go to enchant, and we see our glyphs, I've got some 5-star speed glyphs here. And the thing that really, you know, kills me about the higher tier glyphs is they can still roll so low. Like these high ones, it should be 3 to 5, not 1 to 5. That just kills their value because I can't confirm this, but it seems like the low rolls are more common. Just like on gear, when you roll them, the flat stats seem to be a lot more common. It seems like you get a lot more 1s and 2s on these than 4s and 5s. So really tough to justify spending a lot of money on these glyphs because the bottom is just so bad. They need to make the bottom, like this should be 3 to 5, and then a 6-star one should be 3 to 6 or 4 to 6 even, to make them really worth it. So I'm going to try to, you know, find a price point for these glyphs on the offer sheet and get them added. But another tough thing is we really need to almost put them in separate tiers, like speed number 1, and then like defense and accuracy in tier 2. and then tier 3 kind of everything else. I think your primary glyphs are speed, defense, and accuracy. Resistance can obviously be good for higher tier arena and a lot of content as well, but I think your top 3 are speed, defense, and accuracy in terms of the glyphs that you're really looking to use. Attack can be good in the arena. HP percent can obviously be good as well, but I'm really gonna have to put them in a couple different tiers, I think. And what do I think this offer here is worth? Probably like $5 if I'm just being honest. Like, we're only getting like $2 or $3 worth of energy and silver. It's probably worth like $6 or $7. I don't want to be too harsh and say 5. I think 6 or 7 is about where I become, because you can roll these 3 glyphs and get 3 1 speeds. And I know the whole thing is about the gamble and the RNG. And it's a good way to acquire glyphs, but I think this is kind of a whale check, a heat check. It's not something that most of us are going to want to be spending $20 to get a little bit of energy and a little bit of silver and a couple glyphs. I think this is in general a pretty bad offer, just my first impressions, and I hope they either bring the floor up on these glyphs or bring the price down. So that's kind of my sentiment on the glyph pack. And yeah, just to kind of end this video, hey Stu, happy for you. It's a life-changing day for Stu Gaming, and he definitely deserves it. I hope Plarium is going to do this for other content providers, because there's so many good ones that deserve an in-game shout out about their content. So definitely check them out as well. But yeah, Stu, if you're watching this, congrats and well deserved. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.